When's the last time you saw Candace Owens?
In person?
Yeah.
2015,
Oh,
2016.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no.
When's the last time she was at a Turning Point event?
Not in many years.
Okay.
But
so let's
here, you don't
without
even
even being
Adam.
biased.
There's a
Candace even involved in Charlie Kirk's life at all?
No question.
For context, just so you can realize how odd this is, I spoke at Turning Point's conference, 2 conferences last year. It's so easily, like I said, debunkable that you have to ask yourself why they are saying it. Here is me speaking on Turning Point USA's stage last year. And here's what I said, by the way, which got Charlie in a lot of trouble.
Well, let me tell you something, America.
Hey, yo. It's your boy Gerald. What we got today? I keep saying what we got today like it's not the same goddamn day. We got PBD Podcast tried to destroy Candace Owens, but it backfired badly? Okay, this might be interesting, because I thought PBD Podcast fucked with Candace, bro. They've had her like 3 times, 4? Had her a couple of times. What do you mean they got try to get rid of her now all of a sudden? Man, people just be switching up like this, bro. I thought PBD had some integrity and shit. What's going on, man? Maybe this will give me some more insight on Candace Owens, because apparently I'm getting people are saying she's a coon. I ain't never knew that. That was never my perspective on Candace. Without further ado, man, let's just get straight into it, because I don't know nothing about this.
Patrick Bet-David Podcast is being called to the carpet by their own audience and being held accountable for their misinformation. Their audience ain't having it. They're really upset. Because the Patrick Bet-David Podcast said a lot of things about Candace Owens that wasn't true, that was verifiably not true. They made a really big mistake. But the thing is,
I need to see them clips.
The mistake they made was just too bold and blatant to be accidental. And people are starting to think that maybe this mistake they made comes with a more sinister reason.
Turning Point USA, when Charlie was hosting the debate between Dave Smith and the other gentleman, he asked him point blank, is Israel an ally of the United States? Dave Smith said no. So that's where Dave Smith is, who happens to be Jewish. But here's a couple different thoughts here. Candace is a shock jock, and she is such a good one, man. She is such a good one. So were Candace and Charlie friends? Yeah, they were. I challenge anybody, please help me out here. Show me one picture, one podcast, one evidence that they've even been in the same room in the last 2 years. The last thing I found, the last time they did anything was on October 3rd, 2023. Ironically, a couple days before October 7th. Show me any evidence that they've been in touch, they've been in dialogue.
What's this point of this, though? What's this gonna achieve? Trying to point out that they've never been friends or whatever. I know Chicanas made a video talking about the Charlie Kirk stuff. I didn't watch it, but I did see like on the thumbnail or something, she was like, this is her, he was like her brother to her or something. So what, are you trying to refute that? What's your point in refuting that? Is on some hater shit, or did she say something you didn't like?
They've done anything together. I would love to see it. So they were friends. I don't think they are friends. I think that Candace is capitalizing on Charlie's death. I think she feels horrible. She doesn't feel good about this.
Just like you, just like pretty much everybody that's made a video about Charlie Kirk. I would say I'm profiting off of it, but shit, nigga, I don't even got 100 subs yet, so you know I'm not getting paid. But like, all you motherfuckers are capitalizing from it. So why you getting mad when she's doing it? This guy.
But Candace is an opportunist.
I don't know if Candace Owens is telling the truth. I don't know if this Charlie Kirk death is anything more than what we've already been told, which is, you know, like this crazy kid took his grandpa's rifle, went to the event at Utah State, and shot and killed Charlie Kirk. I don't know if it extends beyond that. I don't know if Charlie Kirk had an angry meeting with an Israeli billionaire. I don't know. But what I can tell you is, if Candace Owens is being discredited with lies, then that means she has to be somewhere near the truth. She has to be getting hotter to the truth. Because if your only response to whatever she's putting out there isn't to respond back with facts, But to try to discredit her with lies, then she has to be somewhere near the truth. So they can't discredit
I don't know
her
if that's
by combating whatever
that's a
she
valid
says.
take. That's not necessarily always true. But I do think there is some agenda behind why he's trying to discredit whatever Candace Owens is saying or had said about Charlie Kirk, which I just can't fathom, imagine why. Because it seemed like she was grieving about the guy regardless. Why are you genuinely just upset that she made a video on him?
They're now trying to discredit her relationship with Charlie Kirk to then say she can't speak for Charlie Kirk. They weren't friends. But we know that's a lie.
They said Bill and Charlie were cordial. They're friendly. There was no conflict. Yeah. We were in the room the entire time.
Did he say that?
Yeah, straight up. Fact checked me on this. So at some point, we're going to have to acknowledge something about Candace.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Can you read this? I've been asked by Bill Ackman more times than I was traveling with Charlie Kirk to find out what's the truth. But his team was with him 100% of the time when he wasn't in hotel room. Here's what they told me. Bill never yelled at Charlie, never pressed him on BB, never gave him a list of Charlie's offenses against Israel. There was concern raised about having Tucker at SAS. What is that? SAS? What is
Student
that?
Action
Student
Summit.
Action Summit.
We
It's
don't
like
live downtown. And
TPSA,
Charlie's reply was, honestly, people telling me not to have Tucker makes me want to have Tucker, and I'm going to lock him in for AmFest 2. Charlie personally told me he had a very cordial relationship with Bill, and the event was productive. Those are the facts.
Okay. So that's subtly saying, Candace, you have no idea what you're talking about. Can we agree upon that? So at what point are we going to say, well, maybe Candace just is...
I don't have enough context. That's probably what it is. I imagine shit should get clearer as we go on.
completely unbiased here. So there's justified criticism of Israel. Sure. There's
Biased or unbiased?
Biased.
You meant to say biased.
You're saying she's biased towards Israel.
or against Israel.
Oh, okay.
Is that fair to
then
say?
you're being biased.
All the lies you're about to hear them tell on Candace Owens is all because they're running point for Bill Ackman.
You're biased towards Israel or against Israel. You realize those are two different things. Okay. Maybe I'm stupid because those are two very contradicting statements.
Right? This billionaire, right? This Israeli billionaire who had a meeting with Charlie Kirk to talk about some things that he didn't like in the media and how Charlie Kirk can assist him by squashing some anti-Semitic tropes. He even told Charlie Kirk, hey, listen, man, your stance on October 7th, I don't like that. Your stance on this, I don't like that. You giving platforms to Candace Owens and Tucker Carlson and these anti-Israel dudes, I don't like that. And that's a really big deal, taking into consideration that Bill Ackman has a relationship with a lot of the donors that donated $100 million to Turning Point last year. So that's all Candace Owens said. Candace Owens never said that Netanyahu is behind Charlie Kirk's death, that Netanyahu killed Charlie Kirk. She never said that. All she said was, this meeting is strange and is weird, and they were upset at Charlie for certain things that Charlie has said and has allowed to be said on Turning Point. I think that's fair. I don't feel like that means that they were screaming mad at Charlie Kirk or they was threatening Charlie Kirk. No, they was just upset about certain things. So they're creating this entire big deal and getting ahead of the story. Candace Owens just said, hey, I'm doing my investigation. Adam is getting ahead of the story to then say, yo, Candace Owens said that Israel is behind Charlie Kirk's death, but here's why she's lying, when she hasn't even told the lie that you're accusing her of saying yet.
Yes. Okay, so there's justified criticism. There's unjustified criticism. There's lies and deception. And then there's just outright hate. I would ask you, what category is Candace in regarding Israel? I don't know if she outright hates Israel, outright hates Jews. I'm not there. But is her criticism completely justified? Is it completely unbiased? Or is she using lies and deception here? Last point here. You offered Tucker $100 million to join Valuetainment. True or false?
Yes.
Did you post it on Twitter at the time?
We posted. We went to his place. We sent the guy to his place to make the offer.
So there was a formal offer and a formal contract.
Documented.
If someone's going to offer Charlie Kirk $150 million, don't you think there's going to be a public statement, a contract, a tweet? Is it just, yo, buddy, you want $150 million? Come on our team.
As if that's the normal practice. As if when somebody wants to pay you for propaganda, the normal
They go tweet it
workflow
online.
to buy propaganda is, hey Twitter, we're
about to pay this guy $150 million to That's actually not normal practice.
That's the normal workflow. When does this happen?
Although news handlers or news outlets do end up catching information like that, right? But I don't think it's a purposeful thing where it's like, oh, I want y'all to know that we got the bread to pay this nigga this much. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that's the case.
This is like completely asinine. It doesn't make sense whatsoever. And they didn't bring on this other dude who works for Turning Point, and they have him testify to back them up. Hey, I've been working at Turning Point since 2015. I haven't seen Candace Owens in person since 2015. He even said something like ludicrous as if like, yo, Candace Owens and Charlie Kirk are no longer friends because I haven't seen them associate with each other for 3 or 4 years now.
You're on the board of Turning Point?
Yeah.
Okay. When's the last time you saw Candace Owens?
In person?
Yeah.
2015,
Oh, wow.
2016.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No,
When's the last time she was at a Turning Point event?
Not in many.
Well, PBD Podcast, you guys saw her like last year, 2 years ago. What are you aiming at right now? Like, bro, she's not gonna be hanging out with everybody. The fuck?
years.
Okay.
But
So let's
here,
okay.
you don't
without
even have to
even
do this,
being
Adam.
biased.
There's a
Is Candace even involved in Charlie Kirk's life at all?
No question proof that Candace Owens
I want to guess this guy works for or with Charlie Kirk.
is nothing, has nothing to do. She would be in a perfect world if they didn't have this. What I already know was a very quiet breakup where she got too rabbit hole for him. She would be the logical heir to the TPUSA throne, but she's
And
not.
now she's not even invited.
Correct. So this is
So,
their divide is.
Wait a minute, not invited meaning
She's not even there.
Yeah, she's not
there.
one of the names
Wait,
that I.
you don't think she'll be at the funeral?
No.
That's
I mean
not the
heir,
funeral.
the heir to
I'm
the
saying
okay.
TPUSA throne.
She doesn't speak at the events anymore.
I mean, Erica.
That's a reason
Erica
for that.
Kirk. I mean,
What is Erica Kirk's relationship with Candace at
I
this
don't-
point?
I-
Is there a
I don't-
relationship?
I don't think so. I don't
Why?
think
Why do you
so.
think? Why do you not think so?
Because I live in this world.
Okay.
I live in.
You
this.
know
I
this
mean,
world. Tell us.
I don't.
This is some gossip girl shit, though. I guess it doesn't seem like it's gossip because it's on the internet, but nah, it's like, what are you trying to get at? It's like, I don't even think she's good with his wife. What the fuck does this have to do with the points right now? Like, this is you're trying to bring personal things or personal matters into this, and it's like, no. Adam, when the last did you see Charlie Kirk's wife? You want to fight for that nigga and shit? When the last were you in his house? When was the last time you spoke to him? Let's calm down, yeah?
See them together. I don't think. I think Candace has created a lane for herself. That's it's her own lane. She wants to go after Macron's husband or wife or whatever you want to call him. She wants. I agree that I think it's cheap that she is sparking this up like she knows something between something happened between Ackman and Charlie.
Which is just not true. Candace Owens was just at Turning Point last year. They were just doing a tour together. But the reason why you kind of have to believe this is deliberate, this is not coincidental whatsoever, is because their entire comment section is telling them, bruh, yo, Candace was on Turning Point last year after she was fired by Daily Wire. Yo, like,
look at that.
Yo, PR advice to that man that should know better. Issue a public correction and apology, or we're unsubscribing. When you lie on your show and about a friend, no less, we can't trust you anymore, and you lost integrity.
That's what I'm saying, about a friend, no less, because they're supposed to be good with Candace Owens. They've had her on the show multiple times, so this is weird to come at this with this angle out of nowhere. I'm not understanding. The Candace Owens Charlie Kirk situation has split MAGA.
So let me get this straight. They're trying to say him and Candace had a falling out. They weren't close yet. Candace did a tour with Charlie in 2024. They code headline TPUSA live free tour in spring 2024, visiting several college campuses. This was just last year, but now they're trying to say the last time she was involved with Turning Point was 2015.
That's so ridiculous.
Right. It's just ludicrous and it doesn't make sense.
They're trying to do something there.
Now, Candace Owens, she did a deeper dive into this. She don't believe that they got it wrong or they were lying due to not knowing. No, she believes that this was deliberate. And their reasons behind it was actually more sinister than we think.
I told you yesterday that we received way too many emails about Charlie's memorial. All of them were asking specifically for me to confirm that I was going. Didn't feel good to me. It felt very inauthentic. I know these journalists are not my friends. I knew they were writing hit pieces, but all of them included that question. Are you going? Are you going to go? Like, you want me to confirm my attendance so that you know where I'm going to be ahead of time? Am I being paranoid? Or does that seem like a little weird? Even on PBD's show, where he just gives a platform to a guest to completely lie for 2 minutes straight, there is this random second where PBD rather oddly says something along the lines of, you don't think she's going to the funeral? Like, they keep talking about this. Take a listen again.
At some point, her credibility, is going to go down the tubes because she needs to bring receipts. Bill Ackman brought receipts. How long was that tweet?
It's still going. I think
he was there
Rob's
in the
still
room.
reading it.
Andrew Colbert was there in the room. You're on the board of Turning Point?
Yeah.
Okay. When's the last time you saw Candace Owens?
In person?
Yeah.
2015,
Oh, wow.
2016.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No,
When's the last time she was at a Turning Point event?
Not in many years.
Okay. And now she's not even invited.
Correct. So this is
So,
their divide is.
Wait a minute, not invited, meaning
She's not even there.
Yeah, she's not
there.
one of the names
Wait,
that
you don't think she'll be at the funeral?
No.
That's
I mean,
not the funeral.
The heir to
I'm
the
saying
TP
okay.
USA throne.
She doesn't speak at the events anymore.
I mean,
Okay, so first and foremost, why did they all want to know if I was going to this event? I said there is no way we are going to this event now. There's a 0% chance. First and foremost, why are you saying anybody can go to it? You just buy a ticket to the event, and you're all working to try to get me to confirm that I'm going. And you're doing this as if you're trying to push my buttons and be like, we got to make her get into her ego so she shows up and posts it on social media. Nope, actually, while I'm attacking the feds, maybe not going to a public event, which the feds are organizing, is probably a very good idea. I'm good.
There's certain things that Candace Owens says, and you be like, man, Candace, bro, you got to go back to your grandmama house, bro. Like, I understand your husband worth $100 million. You got to go back to your roots, man, and learn how it feels to be black in America again, bro. And then there's certain things she says, like this one right here, where you say, nah, she ain't lose it. Nah, she still knows she an igga. She ain't that dumb. She still knows she a black woman, man. Certain things like this is one of those things, man, that you just understand if you're from a certain community, bruh. I'm not showing up to no event ran by the feds if I'm criticizing the feds. Common sense. Common sense.
Common
I
sense.
believe they already knew this. Yo, I'm sorry.
Like you're trying to get me got too, just like Charlie. Is that what was going on?
And these other platforms, and
That's what we're trying to do.
They know this, and I do believe they're trying to draw her out. They're trying to draw her out to that event on behalf of the feds because it doesn't make sense, bro. They got researchers, they got producers. They're usually on point. You don't just lie about something like that. That can be.
That's super smart, though. I don't even know if I would have thought that far. I'd be like, oh, they all want me to come to his funeral. Of course I'll be there. No, I'm not like that. But I'm like, sympathetically, I'm like, yo, okay, if I really fucked with this guy, yeah, of course I want to be at the funeral. But thinking politically, that's why it's politics shit, man. I do not want to get into it. Thinking politically, you gotta realize, no, it could be a setup, it could be a trap, it could be wanting to pack me up.
I disprove it.
I'm gonna listen to Power on my headphones and go see Ye. How's that for a memorial for Charlie Kirk? That feels like the right thing for me to do right now. I'm not going to this memorial because it's strange. To lie like this is very strange. For context, just so you can realize how odd this is, I spoke at Turning Point's conference, 2 conferences last year. It's so easily, like I said, debunkable that you have to ask yourself why they are saying it. Here is me speaking on Turning Point USA's stage last year. And here's what I said, by the way, which got Charlie in a lot of trouble.
Well, let me tell you something, America. It does feel so good to go everywhere in the world and to realize that there is awakening, not just happening here. Let me tell you guys, it's happening all across the globe. People are starting to ask the hard questions. And you start getting close when they start to call you names. They instantly want to suggest that there's something wrong and there's something backwards about being America first. You're starting to hear the way they're framing that now. When you say you're America first, they'll ask you, what do you mean you're America first? Do you mean that you're an isolationist? Do you believe that we shouldn't have did what we did during World War II? All of these things trying to pollute it. It's not that difficult. America first. First name America, last name first. We put this country's interests before the interests of foreign countries overseas. All of them. I don't care.
So yeah, sorry to bring this back into like a little race thing, but like that makes sense to me though. Like that's what I've always thought America first was. Put American people, American citizens, or America's interests ahead of other countries, which is what makes sense. But then a lot of the American first people, they think putting America first means kicking all the immigrants and black people out of America and making it great again, make America white again. It's essentially make America great again for some people, and I don't understand. Like that's really where this whole stupid divide is with, like people trying to come at like black people and stuff like that. I don't get that, but I'm still trying to understand because people have been saying Candace is a coon. And that's at least, I don't know, that didn't seem cool like to me. But maybe I need to find some clips because she said some crazy stuff.
Yeah, it kind of went on and on, but it was kind of me saying, especially since
That got her in trouble though?
Earlier, I had gotten fired from the Daily Wire. Like, Israel, you're not special. And yeah, Charlie got in trouble for the stuff that I said on stage, and then they came inward. I told that I was not allowed to speak at AmFest. The donors were making threats, but like I went on tour with Turning Point last year. It's still on their website. It's so this is like the strangest thing. We could pull up this website. Live Free Tour. Charlie Kirk and Candace Owens.
The poster.
Quiet breakup. Why are we doing this? It's very strange. Here's all the places that we went to last year. Wow. Now they are pushing these headlines that are so far beyond the realm of reality, like the one that I just showed you, where they say that I'm angry. And then when you look into who's writing these articles, like Victoria Churchill, you note that she has a connection to AIPAC.
You kind of have to start asking those questions. Is the Patrick Bet Davis show, or they bought out? Because it doesn't make sense. That was a quick Google. Yo, when was the last time Candace Owens was at Turning Point USA? Out. It pops right up. So to go out of your way to lie.
I don't want to say that yet because PBD might have been playing it slick because you notice how he didn't say anything at all. He was just keeping quiet, acting like all like confused and just trying to see where they were going. It seemed like Adam Sosnick was the one spearheading everything and spearheading the agenda and everything. And they were going back and forth with this guy who claims he's part of the Turning Point campaign, whatever the fuck. But you can't say the PBD podcast is bought yet unless you're seeing Patrick Bet David pushing that agenda as well, because he's the PBD podcast. He's the big dog, the owner of everything. If he's talking like that, then you know they got bought out. But Adam Sosnick, bro, he's just lucky to be allowed to speak his opinion, bro. Like PBD just lets him rock, and sometimes PBD in of himself finds himself regretting allowing this nigga talk because Adam just be saying the most ridiculous of things sometimes. But yeah, no, it's not. I don't think they're bought yet. But also, I'm like, it's possible Patrick Bet David was just playing the game, playing an angle, because he knows people are gonna give him backlash if he was to talk against Candace, who he claims to be so good with and friends with, and he comes as this, he portrays himself as this loyal person that would never go back against his friends or people he's had on the podcast, stuff like that. So he's thinking that way. But I don't know if it was the thing of he really just didn't agree with what Adam and the other guy was saying or not. Knowing how the PBD podcast goes, but I actually just watch them a lot. Knowing how they go, PBD is the type of person who's like, he'll let you rock, he'll let you talk. He won't refute anything you're saying, he's just gonna let you keep going, say all your points. And then towards the ending, he's like, okay, I don't agree with what the fuck you're saying, by the way. Like, I don't think you're right. I don't think I agree with it. He's just trying to make the show go along, let people get their debates in an organized manner, and then he'll give his perspective at the end. So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see if he had anything to say about that. But I believe he might have just skipped it entirely, knowing him. He's like, because all these guys think they're slick, but they're not. I don't know. That's just my opinion, but I feel like I do a decent job at like reading people and reading how people do things or why they do certain things. You can actually, just by observing people, you can see the wheels turning and the thought processes. I don't know. I might just be a crazy ass nigga. Who knows? But yeah, no, I think I'll wrap it up there though. That's very interesting. It just seems like they're getting the backlash that they deserve, because yeah, no, that was bullshit. That was a ridiculous lie, and I don't know what the agenda is behind that. But Candace knows right now. She's like, yeah, okay, you guys definitely want to see me in this funeral. That's not happening. Y'all are being weird, and I'm gonna stay away from y'all. Simple as that. But yeah, no, good video by Poetic Flacco. I actually enjoyed it. Yeah. I don't dabble much into politics, and I think I will be very wise to keep it that way. But you know, every once in a while, if it's something I could possibly relate to, because yeah, like I said, I've been watched PBD Podcast for a long time. I know a little bit about Candace Owens, so yeah, I could give a little 2 cents here and there. But yeah, that's the end of the video. Like, comment, share, subscribe, turn on post notifications. I will see you guys in the next video. Ayo Gerald out.